Hi guys, good evening, and I welcome all of you to this very important session on DPSPs. In today's class, we are going to complete the entire part of DPSP. Hello Vaishnavi, hi Kavya, welcome to the session. So only for today, you have to adjust with this particular screen, this particular frame which is there. But from tomorrow, I'll change this thing. So before getting into the class, let me just inform you some important updates that Unacademy is coming up with All India Mega CLAT mock, which is happening on 13th of February at 3 p.m. So in this particular mock test, the first ranker is going to get iPad Mini, second ranker is going to get Amazon voucher worth rupees 25,000, third ranker is going to get Amazon voucher worth rupees 20,000, and 4 to 10 are going to get Amazon voucher worth rupees 500. Hi Haindavi, welcome to the session. How are you? Okay, so let's just go with other things. So we have also launched this test series. I hope everybody have attended this particular thing. And then I have bi-weekly current affairs for all our exams, which will happen twice every single week. And this has already started on 4th of February, and I hope you're attending this particular session as well. So these are the features of Unacademy subscriptions, which are there over here. So you have live interactive classes, recorded lectures with unlimited watch time, access to notes from all the educators at one place, and every fourth session is a doubt solving session. We also have updated study material and practice mock test papers. Yeah, I'm very good, Haindavi. Thank you for asking. So you can get 10% off by using my code, which is Thrinath10. And these are the prices of Unacademy Plus and Iconic. You can enroll into any of these by taking any of the subscriptions by using my code Thrinath10, THRINATH10. So with this note, let us just proceed with today's class where we are going to understand DPSPs. So in the previous class, I made an attempt to explain what exactly are DPSPs, and we have also dealt with these things that DPSPs are dealt under articles, the articles whichever are given 36 to 51, and I've also told you that, just give me a second. And I also told you that we have borrowed this particular thing from Ireland, and Ireland borrowed this from Spain. Just a second. Yeah. So DPSPs are dealt under Articles 36 to 51, and they are borrowed from the Constitution of Ireland, and Ireland has copied this from Spanish Constitution. And I have also dealt that DPSPs are in the forms of instructions or guidelines. They are not rights. So they are giving, the Constitution is giving guidelines or instructions to the governments which are in the center and also the states. So DPSPs are non-justiciable, but they are very fundamental in the governance of the country, which I've dealt in the previous class. I also told you that DPSPs resemble the instrument of instructions. Hi Amita, welcome to the class. How are you? DPSPs resemble the instrument of instructions which were there in the Government of India Act 1935. Yeah, very good. Welcome to the session. Yeah, in the Irish Constitution, the Article 45. So Vaishnavi, we have taken Article 45 resembles, the DPSPs which are there over here. Welcome everyone, everybody, welcome to this session. So now we are going to enter into the actual articles. And before that, yesterday also I've told you that Article 36 talks about the definition of state. And what is the definition of state under Article 36? It is same as Article 12. You can watch the previous video where I've explained this at a greater detail. And 37 talks about the applications of the principles in this part. So what do you mean by this part? This part is part 4. So what is the application of DPSPs? I'm very good, Amita. Thank you for asking. So DPSPs are not enforceable in court of law, but it is a duty of the state to enforce this particular DPSP. So if DPSPs are not enforced, then you cannot go to any court and ask that DPSPs are not enforced. And it is, however, they are fundamental in the governance of the country. So these are 36 and 37. Now let us look into the constitutional, the classification of DPSPs. Indian Constitution has not originally classified DPSPs, which means that there is no constitutional classification of DPSPs. The Constitution did not, say that there are socialist principles, Gandhian principles, and liberal intellectual principles. This is our classification. Okay, based on their content and direction, we have classified them into socialist principles, Gandhian principles, and also liberal intellectual principles. Now let us understand what exactly are socialist principles, what are Gandhian principles, and also what are liberal intellectual principles in today's class. First one, socialist principles. Socialist principles, they aim at providing social and economic justice, and they set path towards a welfare state. In yesterday's class, I have explained you what exactly is welfare state. So welfare state is a concept where state is going to provide the basic necessities to all the citizens of that particular state. And constitution already guarantees, the social and economic justice in the preamble. Justice, social, economic, and political. So political justice is already given in the preamble, but in these socialist principles are something which aims at providing social and economic justice. Now, what are the socialist principles in the DPSPs? Article 38. Article 38 asks the state, or it directs the state to, just give me a second. Yeah. Article 38 directs the state to promote the welfare of the people by securing a social order through justice, that is social, economic, and political, and to minimize inequalities in income, status, facilities, and also opportunities. Now, this is a duty of the state. Constitution is asking the state, dear state, secure a social order, okay, by reducing the inequalities which are there in income, because there are a lot of income inequalities in India, in inequalities of status, facilities, and opportunities. Go and reduce them by providing, by providing social justice, social, economic, and political justice to all the citizens. And then Article 39 asks the state to secure citizens' right to adequate means of livelihood to all citizens, and also equitable distribution of material resources of the community for the common good. So this is one of the principles which has, which made a lot of states to enact Land Reforms Act, because there was a lot of resources which were concentrated in very less people. So that is why government, various state governments have brought in various land reforms. And prevention of concentration of wealth, and also means of production, and equal pay for equal work for both men and women. This is a very important question. This is a very important question. In most of the exams, they asked you equal pay for equal work for both men and women. Is this a DPSP, or is it a fundamental right, or is it a fundamental duty? This question was asked multiple times in multiple examinations. Then preservation of health and strength of workers and children against forcible abuse, and also opportunities for healthy development of children. These are, the provisions which are there under Article 39 of the Indian Constitution. And Article 39A promote equal justice and free legal aid to the poor. So free legal aid is again a DPSP. It is not a fundamental right. So this can again be a probable question. And in one of my previous classes, I talked about Project 39A, which is conducted by NLU Delhi, where we are talking about, death penalty and a lot of other things. And then Article 49, in cases of unemployment, old age, sickness, and disablement, which means that if citizens are unemployed, for unemployed citizens, and also for old citizens, and also for those who have sickness and disablement, provide them right to work, provide them right to education, and also provide them right to public assistance. And then Article 42, which is again a socialist principle, says that make provisions for just and humane conditions of work, and also maternity relief. And Article 43, secure a living wage, a decent standard of living, and social and cultural opportunities for all workers. Article 43A, take steps towards the participation of workers in the management of industries. And Article 47, raise the level of nutrition and standard of living of the people, and to improve public health. So these are self-explanatory, and all of these principles are socialist principles because they aim at providing social, economic, and political justice. You just have to remember these things. Then we have Gandhi and DPSP. So what are Gandhi and DPSPs? Gandhi and DPSPs are the principles which are based on Gandhian ideology. What the first article of Gandhian principle is Article 40. Article 40 directs the state to organize village panchayats. It is not only important to organize village panchayats, but it is also to endow them with necessary power and authority to enable them to function as units of self-government. So this is one of the principles which made the government to enact the 73rd and 74th Amendment Act, by which, panchayats and municipalities were created, and certain powers were already, delegated to them. And then promote, under Article 43, it directs the state to promote cottage industries on an individual or cooperation basis in rural areas. And then Article 43B. So whenever you're seeing this capital B or capital A, it means that this was added by an amendment. Article 43B, to promote voluntary information, autonomous functioning, and democratic control and professional management of cooperative societies. So we'll be learning about cooperative societies in our upcoming classes. And then Article 46 under Gandhi and DPSP asks the state to promote the educational and economic interests of SC, STs, and other weaker sections of the society, and to protect them from social injustice and exploitation. Article 47, a very important Gandhi and DPSP, prohibit the consumption of intoxicating drinks and drugs which are injurious to health. So this is a very important principle which talks about prohibition of alcohol. But however, DPSPs are not enforceable in a court of law, so they cannot be enforced. If they are not enforced, you cannot ask the courts to enforce them. Article 48 prohibit the slaughter of cows, calves, and other milch and rot cattle, and to improve their breeds. I've explained in the previous class what exactly is milch. So milch are the animals which are kept for milk. Okay, so you have to prevent the slaughter of cows, that you should not kill cow, calf, and also any other cattle which are there. So these are Gandhian principles. Gandhian principles are mostly based on Gandhian ideology. Yes, right. Okay. So then we have another one, that is liberal intellectual principles. So what are liberal intellectual principles? Liberal intellectual principles reflect the ideology of liberalism, which means having a lot of freedom and flexibility in a lot of things. And these are very important articles which always makes the news. First one is Article 44, secure for all citizens a uniform civil code throughout the country. This is a very, very, very important component, and this was asked multiple times in multiple examinations. So what exactly is a uniform civil code? So what are civil matters? Civil matters are matters relating to marriage, inheritance, succession, property, acquisition of property, and all of these things. Here there should be a uniform civil code. As of now, we have various personal laws in India. So personal laws are dealing with, we have Hindu Marriage Act, which is Hindu personal law. Then we have the Shariat Act, which is dealing with Muslim personal law. And Article 44 directs the state to create a uniform civil code, which means state should have a uniform code for all the citizens of all the religions. So there should be no discrimination based on religion. Then we have some other thing, that is provide early childhood care and education for all children until they complete the age of 6 years. This is again a very important provision. Just give me a second. Yeah, this is again a very important liberal intellectual principle. This is also there. So earlier, right to education was there as a DPSP, but it was removed as DPSP, and it was added as a fundamental right under Article 21A by 86 Constitutional Amendment Act of 2002. And Article 48 to organize agriculture and animal husbandry on modern and scientific lines. That is why we are calling this as liberal intellectual principles. Then Article 49 is to protect monuments, places, and objects of artistic and historic interest which were declared to be of national importance. And 50, a very important one, talks about the separation of powers, separation of judiciary from the executive in the public services of the state. So judiciary and executive, however, there is a very strict separation, I can say. So there is separation of judiciary from executive dealt in Article 50, very important article again. And then Article 51 is promotion of international peace, that is promote international peace and security and maintain just and honorable relations between the states. And also you have to foster respect for international law and also treaty obligations. India is already respecting a lot of international laws. For example, India is a party to United Nations Convention on Law of the Sea, and India has also signed a lot of treaties, and it is obliging to all the international treaties which are there. So this is again a very important component which under the liberal intellectual principles. So then we also have to encourage settlement of international disputes by arbitration. So this is again there under Article 51. So these are some liberal intellectual principles. So you have to remember all of these things which I have discussed in today's class. And then let us look into some other thing which are there. What are the new DPSPs which were added by various amendments, especially the 42nd amendment? So 42nd amendment act added 4 DPSPs in the list. First one is Article 39. Under Article 39 there are a lot of directions, and this is one direction, that is to secure opportunities for the healthy development of children, number one. And number second article is Article 39A, that is to promote equal justice and to provide free legal aid. So whenever you are seeing capital A or capital B or capital C, it is generally added by an amendment. And then Article 43A takes steps towards the participation of workers in the management of industries. And Article 48 capital A to protect and improve the environment and to safeguard forest and also wildlife. Now, there are some important facts about DPSPs or Directive Principles of State Policy. First one is that a new DPSP under Article 38 was added by 44th Amendment Act of 1978, which requires the state to minimize inequalities in income, status, facilities, and opportunities. We have already discussed them when we were talking about socialist DPSPs. Okay, then 86th Amendment, as I have discussed this earlier, has changed the subject matter of Article 45 and made elementary education as a fundamental right under Article 21A. And the amended directive requires the state to provide early childhood and education for all children until they complete the age of 14 years. This is mandatory. So whenever protection of monuments and places and objects of national importance. So I've already discussed it over here. It is Article 49. It is already there in the original constitution, Vaishnavi. It is already there. Okay. Next, so a very important case which I have dealt multiple times in a lot of my classes is the Minerva Mills case of 1980. In Minerva Mills, when there was a question that whether fundamental rights are supreme or DPSPs are supreme, then Supreme Court told that the constitution is founded on the bedrock of harmony and balance between fundamental rights and DPSP. So DPSPs and fundamental rights should go hand in hand. Whenever there is a conflict, they should go hand in hand. DPSP is not subordinate to fundamental rights, and fundamental right and DPSP constitute the core of commitment to social revolution. And it is not that fundamental rights are supreme, and it is not that fundamental rights are supreme or DPSPs are inferior. So that is what is there. The harmony and balance between fundamental rights and DPSP are essential feature or basic structure of Indian constitution. And here are some other facts, important facts which are there. What is the full form of DPSP? Just a quick revision. Directive Principles of State Policy. From which constitution which country it is borrowed? It is borrowed from Ireland. Article 45 of Irish constitution talks about the same, and Ireland copied it from Spain. And how many articles are covered? 36 to 51 belongs to DPSP. Part is part 4. And how many types of DPSPs are there? There are 3 types: socialist, Gandhian, and also liberal intellectual. Is this constitutional classification? The answer is no. Constitution did not classify whether they are socialist, Gandhian, or liberal intellectual. We are classifying it based on the contents which are there. And have DPSPs ever amended? Yes, 42nd Amendment, 44th Amendment, and 86th Amendment added and deleted a few DPSPs. Are DPSPs justiciable? No, DPSPs are non-justiciable in nature. Are DPSPs subordinate to fundamental rights? No, they are not subordinate to fundamental rights. There should always be a harmony and balance between fundamental rights and DPSP. Who described DPSP as a novel feature of the Indian Constitution? The answer is Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. From where do Indian DPSPs find their motivation? They find it from Irish Home Rule Movement, or we have dealt it in the Article 45 of Irish Constitution. Okay. So this is what you have to learn about DPSPs. And if you have any doubt with respect to DPSP, you can drop it down in the comment box below. I'll be more than happy to answer them. And tomorrow we are going to discuss about fundamental duties, and I'll update the timings in the Telegram group, in the Telegram channel. Okay. Tomorrow we are going to deal fundamental duties. And if you have any question, please feel free to drop it down in the chat window. And okay, so if you're liking this, please like this session. Everybody in the class, please like this session. Everybody in the class, please like this session. And if you're finding these sessions helpful, please make sure that you are, talking about this particular thing with your friends as well. And I'm looking forward to seeing you all